What if everything you were taught about history was incomplete, not because facts were missing, but because something was deliberately removed? Open any history book and you'll find kings, wars, and empires, but you won't find the beings that ancient scholars across the world openly wrote about. Civilizations separated by oceans and centuries, all described intelligent, unseen entities living alongside humans, beings that advised rulers, caused sudden madness, inspired creativity, and appeared before disasters. These were not campfire stories or religious metaphors. They were written in official records, debated in ancient universities, and treated as part of reality itself. Yet at some point, these beings vanished from textbooks without explanation. Not disproven, not denied, simply erased. This video explores the true story of the Jinn hidden inside history books, why nearly every ancient civilization acknowledged them, and how modern education quietly removed them from the human story. By the end of this journey, you may realize that history is not just written by the victors, but edited by fear, and that the world we see may be only a small part of the reality we live in. What are Jinn according to history? For most of human history, reality was not limited to what the eye could see. Ancient scholars believed the world was shared with other intelligent beings existing in layers beyond ordinary perception. Among these beings were those later known as Jinn entities, described as conscious, willful, and capable of interacting with humans. Historical descriptions consistently portray them as neither gods nor angels, but something in between. Beings with intelligence, emotions, societies, and moral choice. They were believed to influence thoughts, inspire ideas, and sometimes cause fear or confusion. Unlike spirits of the dead, Jinn were understood as a separate creation, living parallel to humanity. Ancient writers emphasized that these beings were not bound by physical form the way humans are, allowing them to appear, vanish, or remain unseen at will. What makes this remarkable is the consistency of these descriptions across cultures that never interacted, meant from air spirits to shadow intelligences. History presents a picture of Jinn as part of the natural order, not supernatural anomalies. Two ancient historians. Denying their existence would have been as irrational as denying the wind unseen, yet undeniably present. Jinn in ancient civilizations long before modern religions, ancient civilizations documented encounters with unseen beings that influenced human affairs. Greek philosophers spoke of invisible intelligences inhabiting the air, capable of guiding or misleading humans. Roman scholars blamed unexplained illness, sudden madness, and bursts of inspiration on these unseen forces. In Persia and Mesopotamia, historical texts describe non-human beings who advised kings, guarded forbidden knowledge, and punished arrogance. Chinese chronicles mention shadow entities appearing before plagues or natural disasters, often interpreted as warnings rather than myths. These civilizations did not treat such accounts as superstition. They recorded them alongside wars, rulers, and laws. What connects these accounts is not shared belief systems, but shared experiences. The descriptions align in behavior, abilities, and limitations. Different names were used, but the characteristics remained strikingly similar. This pattern suggests that ancient people were not inventing stories, but documenting something they believed to be part of reality. When multiple civilizations report the same phenomenon independently, history demands attention, not dismissal. Jinn in Islamic history and texts. Islamic history provides the most structured and detailed understanding of Jinn. The Quran describes them as beings created from smokeless fire, existing before humans and possessing free will. Unlike angels, Jinn can choose belief or disbelief, obedience or rebellion. Islamic scholars expanded on this with classifications, behaviors, and recorded interactions. Historical writings describe Jinn communities, their environments, and their relationship with humans. These accounts were not fringe ideas. They were written by respected scholars, jurists, and historians. Islamic tradition never reduced Jinn to folklore. Instead, it treated them as another creation within a complex universe. Importantly, Islamic texts never portray Jinn as omnipotent or divine, but as limited beings subject to laws just like humans. This balanced portrayal preserved ancient knowledge while correcting exaggerations. For centuries, Islamic scholarship kept the concept of Jinn alive while other civilizations quietly abandoned it. Why history books erased the Jinn. The disappearance of Jinn from history books was not sudden, but deliberate. As modern science rose, anything that could not be measured or controlled was slowly excluded from academic discussion. Education systems shifted toward materialism, teaching that reality consists only of what can be observed physically. Colonial powers exported these ideas globally, rewriting curricula and redefining what counted as knowledge. Jinn did not fit into this new worldview, not because they were disproven, but because they challenged human dominance over reality. Acknowledging their existence meant admitting that humanity was not alone, not fully in control, and not the final authority. So history chose silence. Ancient texts were reclassified as myths, symbolic stories, or superstition. The erasure was subtle, but effective. Over time, generations grew up unaware that Jinn were ever taken seriously at all. Modern encounters and classified mentions, despite their removal from textbooks, reports of unexplained entities never stopped. Across the world, people continue to describe encounters with beings that appear intelligent, invisible, and capable of interaction. Modern institutions avoid ancient terminology, replacing it with neutral language like unidentified entities or non-human intelligences. Military and intelligence reports describe encounters that defy known biology or physics. The details lack of physical traces, sudden appearances, psychological effects mirror ancient descriptions almost exactly. The difference is not the phenomenon, but the language used to describe it. By changing the words, modern society avoids confronting the implications. Yet the pattern remains unchanged, suggesting that what ancient people called Jinn may still be present, still interacting, and still ignored. What this means for us today, if Jinn were acknowledged by ancient civilizations, documented in religious texts, and still reflected in modern encounters, then our understanding of reality may be incomplete. This does not mean abandoning science or reason, but expanding them. History teaches us that knowledge is often filtered through fear, power, and control. The erasure of Jinn reveals how easily entire aspects of reality can be removed from public awareness. Perhaps the most unsettling realization is not that Jinn might exist, but that humanity chose not to remember them. Understanding this forces us to question what else may have been forgotten, and whether the world is far more complex than we have been taught to believe. As we reach the end of this journey, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. The story of the Jinn was never disproven, defeated, or replaced by better knowledge. It was quietly set aside. Ancient civilizations did not fear speaking about these beings. They documented them openly, debated them seriously, and accepted them as part of a layered reality. What changed was not the evidence, but the mindset of those who decided what future generations would be allowed to learn. When history narrowed its definition of reality to only what could be seen and measured, entire chapters of human understanding were left behind. The Jinn did not disappear from the world. They disappeared from our books, our classrooms, and our conversations. And that absence itself tells a powerful story. This documentary is not asking you to blindly believe, nor to reject what you have learned, but to question the boundaries of what we are told is possible. If countless independent civilizations recorded the same unseen intelligences, if religious texts preserve their existence with clarity, and if modern encounters continue to echo ancient descriptions, then perhaps the real mystery is not the Jinn, but the silence surrounding them. History is not only written by those in power, it is edited by what makes people uncomfortable. And few ideas are more uncomfortable than the possibility that humanity has never been alone in shaping this world. If this video challenged your understanding of history, take a moment to support it by liking and sharing, so this forgotten knowledge can reach others who are curious enough to question the official narrative. Subscribe to this channel for more documentaries that explore hidden history, ancient mysteries, and the truths left outside the classroom. Most importantly, join the conversation in the comments. Do you believe the Jinn were deliberately erased from history, or do you think there is another explanation? What forgotten subject should we uncover next? Lost civilizations, ancient giants, or forbidden libraries? Your curiosity drives these stories forward, because history still holds secrets, and this is only the beginning.